for my alkaline vegan journey, and we are just picking up from going live on Instagram. My alkaline vegan journey used to be featured on TikTok, but we're going through some things, and we are changing platforms to Instagram and YouTube. And the platform is based on my need to have some sort of support during fasting. Many people who fast find that they fast alone unless they're with a specific group that's doing the same type of fasting that they're doing. With this platform that I've created on TikTok now, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms, we're all the same name, My Alkaline Vegan Journey, and the purpose is to give support for anyone doing any kind of fasting. So if you're doing, any kind of fasting, feel free to join us daily on Instagram at 10 a.m. Eastern Time or 6 p.m. Eastern Time. That's ridiculous. No one's music needs to be that loud. Or on YouTube at 12 noon, and I'm running late today, really late, because we had a lot of stuff happening earlier, but we're on YouTube daily at 12 noon and 8 p.m. Now, this evening, last evening, we weren't able to come on. I'm living now in St. Lucia, and I just got a farm in Castries. Even though I live in Gros-Islet, I have a farm, or not really a farm, but land in Castries where we're planting a lot of our garden, and I don't have internet there. So if I'm not on, that's usually the reason why, and I'll pick up the next day. And you can always find me somewhere on one day at one point in time or another, because I go live every day on at least YouTube or Instagram. And we'll see what happens with TikTok after the 28th. We shall see. But today we're going to be dealing with a few things. We've got, first off, some house cleaning. We've got several people that are members of My Alkaline Vegan Journey that are fasting right now. They are on day 5 of 21 days of fasting. Day 5, all water fasting. They're on day 5. And I'm telling you, these people are shocking this crap out of me. These are people that have been with me since the beginning, which has basically been January, where we launched our very first international fast, where we had over 3,800 people fast with us at the beginning of the year for 21 days, many of whom had never fasted before. And now some of these people are basically sponsoring their own fast, which I am so stoked about. These are people that never thought that they could fast, do a long-term all-water fast, and are dropping pounds like you would not believe. Dropping weight like you would not believe. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of Shaq. Shaq actually started her very first fast, I think in May, and she wanted to do 3 days and wound up doing 10 days and was like, wow. And she's sponsoring this 21-day fast after doing 10 days in May. And I don't think that's bad, because, you know, for me, I'm not joining them because I just finished 40 days of all water fasting. I had done the 21 days in January, 40 days in March, and I thought 21 days in May might be a little too much for me. So I'm going to sit this one out and probably do another one in June or July. So we'll see. But yes, I was so stoked with Shaq, because she actually, with her 10-day fast, she was dropping weight like water. And then with this 21-day fast, they're only on day 5, and she's already lost almost 9 pounds. Day 5, 9 pounds gone already, just out of there. And that's what I'm talking about. When you deal with a caloric deficit, that is so advantageous to your overall health, you have no idea. Because often, many diseases and ailments are caused by caloric overload. I mean, just an abundance of, too many calories. fat. And once you get rid of that, your body tends to go into a complete reset mode because it's constantly repairing. It's constantly repairing. And it's one of those things that once you do the repair and then follow a lifestyle that maintains, you don't have to worry about disease. You don't have to worry about a lot of these things. So today we're going to kind of follow up and support those that are doing their 21-day all fast with a few things that I thought would be apropos, and that was making our teas. And I'm going to show you the teas that I put together every day to support our fasters because I'm not fasting. I'm doing a specific tea and giving some of the benefits of these teas. And I'm wondering, did I put these things in together? I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Because I did not. But I need to put them together. I know what I had, so I'm going to go through them and make sure all of them are represented. And this is the tea that I made, and it is so good. And what I do is every day I take some of the tea, I boil it if it's a root or bark, and I steep it if it's a leaf or a flower, and I take it hot for the first cup. Then the remaining tea, I set out and I let it come to room temperature so that I can put it in the freezer to have iced tea for the remainder of the day. And that's what I'm doing today. So this is still warm. So what I'm gonna do, this tea is a combination of a couple of herbs. Hey, how are you, Ruben? Yes, I'm on live again. Okay, let me see what you have. Oh, you got I don't do none of that stuff. I don't do none of that stuff. So you got it together, huh?
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I don't do none of that. None. Yeah. Okay. And I'm ready to take a ride on that bike, guys. These are my neighbors. I just moved to St. Lucia in February, so I've got a lot of new friends and neighbors. But what I want to say is that this tea is a combination of some really great herbs. First and foremost, burdock and bladderwrack. Now, you know, if you all are alkaline vegan, you know that burdock and bladderwrack are two components of the three that make up the entire nutritional replenishment of the body, because every mineral that's represented in bladderwrack, burdock, and sea moss, that holy trinity, is represented in every mineral that our body needs daily. So I just did bladderwrack and burdock root because to break my fast, I used the sea moss. But this also has red raspberry. It has red clover. Both are, I consider them more female type herbs because they help with menopause, PMS. They help with the uterine lining and just, you know, female parts. They add a certain amount of mucus for pregnant women, so they give, so that their labor is easier. They provide magnesium, potassium, and all the vitamin Bs. So I thought that would be apropos, me being a female taking this tea today. Now, bladderwrack is a blood purifier, but I love it because it thins the blood just enough so it becomes a catalyst for those things to get within the bloodstream. So I love it for that. Plus, with bladderwrack, it just helps to round out the nutrients that I'm getting on the daily. Now, bladderwrack, burdock root, you cannot take daily. And you know bladderwrack is a sea vegetable, so it provides a certain amount of iodine for those that have thyroid issues. But burdock root is a purifier and blood thinner, so you should not take burdock root over prolonged amounts of time. I also have black seed. Black seed is one of those anti-everything, antifungal, antimicrobial, you name it. You name it. And it's said that black seed, which is a cumin seed, is the cure for everything but death. And I believe it. It covers the gamut. I also used elderberry. Elderberry is pretty much known for folks that are dealing with upper respiratory ailments, and it clears it up. So it was a big hit during COVID because most of the ailments that surrounded that pandemic were upper respiratory. So it helped a lot of people with that. And yeah, excuse me, because I have some unwanted visitors that don't understand that when I say I want you out my house, guess what? I want you out my house. And those are these flies. And the sky is looking dark like it's gonna pour. But we're entering the hurricane season here in St. Lucia. So be ready. I'm telling you, rains and everything. And I'm really afraid for my friends that live out there in Castries and some of these man-made huts. You know, with these kind of hurricanes, and you know, they could just take the roofs off and all that stuff. But anyhow, we've got the red raspberry, the red leaf raspberry, and the red clover for female problems. We've got the burdock for the purification. We've got the elderberries, which is for upper respiratory. Burdock root also is good for skin disorders like eczema and psoriasis. So we use that to get that together, and it works well on that stuff. I also will show you the mask that I made with burdock and sea moss, which is a great combination. But let's move on with the tea. What else did I put in this tea? I've got black seed, elderberry, burdock, bladderwrack. Oh, sarsaparilla. I always use sarsaparilla in a lot of my daily teas because even though it's a bark, it's not a bitter that can't be used daily. Look at that. It just, rain just comes down. It just, the sky just opens up. My plants need this. They might get overwatered though. I just saw Theo pass. Let me close this. I want y'all to see it because it just pours like it's been raining all day and the sun was just shining. This is Gros-Ile, St. Lucia, little town right on the beach. My back door leads me to the, I hope these things don't get overwatered. Water's coming in the house, so I gotta close the door, which means we're gonna be in darkness. I often have to open the front door so that we don't have complete darkness. Let's say it's dry back there, but let me show you the backyard. Oh man, I left my door wide open. Here's the backyard. And those are all my plants. And I almost washed clothes today. And you see, I have to hang my clothes on the line, and they just would have gotten another wash. But anyhow, those are the herbs that I use for this tea. And like I said, I take 1 cup hot, and then the rest I leave to do room temperature. Like this is still warm. And I did add a little agave to it. And the rest I leave to do, get to room temperature, and then I put it in the freezer. And the rest I will be drinking as iced tea for the rest of the day. And as you can see, the bag is still in the bottom. The bag with all the herbs are still in the bottom. And I will reuse that. This is really good. And this is the kind of iced tea you should be having daily. So good. Next, to kind of give support to our family members who are fasting for 21 days. They're on day 5. I'm not fasting because I just finished a 40-day long-term fast, and I thought it was too much for me to kind of get into that. So I'm doing other things to show support. while giving the platform so that they can ask questions, get information, get encouragement, and just all around have support. So we do daily lives on Instagram and YouTube to show our support. Next, I'm going to show you the mask that I made. The mask that I made was made with my sea moss. And I don't know why I do it like this, but I actually like it like this. And I use the burdock powder. And what I did is I took the sea moss, and I have sea moss basically that's in water, spring water, that I have not blended yet. And I have to learn how to do this. Oh, here it is. This is the sea moss that I have soaking, and the burdock root, the powder is powdered. Burdock is like a root that is a great substitute for carrots. It's got a sweet inner side and the barky outside that's really, really nice. And what I did is I took some of the sea moss in the blender with the burdock root, and I came up with this. And I just made it for the live on Instagram, so it's not completely gelled yet. So, and what I do is I take it and I apply it on my face like a mask. I'm also going to put some on my arms because I have loads of mosquito bites. And I'm telling you, watch, after I take my shower, it is amazing. Now, you leave this on until it actually dries. And once it dries, it will have pulled a lot of things and actually given your skin some nutrients. I'm telling you, these things bit me up. So I just put it on to try to, basically to stop the itch and to, bring my color back. Because when I scratch these things, they actually change my color. And because I got scars. And it's going to dry up those scars. And I'll bring my color back. And it'll stop the itch as well. Burdock root is known for helping with psoriasis and eczema. So it's great for these things as well. So let me wash my hands and we can just let the rest of this dry as we move on to our next portion, which is breaking our fast. And I usually break my fast daily around noon. Sometimes it's a little before, sometimes it's a little after. Now, because I've just done a live with Instagram, I've already basically broken my fast, but I could actually go for another bowl of this wonderful stuff that I broke my fast with. And it's basically everything that came from my land in Castries, St. Lucia. Everything came from a tree, nothing from a store, not one thing. And I'm so proud of that. So, it's basically, and I'm done. And before I get into that, because I did not get to show my Instagrammers what was made with the cacao, and you all will be getting a video shortly of the masterpiece that I made with that cacao. And that cacao came straight from the tree on my property in Castries. And this is what it looks like. This is the cacao pod. And when you see it, you'll see the entire thing. As a matter of fact, let me go through that right quick. We're going to do cacao right quick. And I didn't have that in the description, but I did want to add it simply because you all are here right now, and you will be seeing the entire video of what I did with that cacao after bringing it off of the tree. After my babe Samson grabbed it from off of the tree, it was just really amazing how this thing came together. And I'm now with chocolate. straight from the tree. I had never known how to do any of this. And yes, I'm going to let this stuff dry because I'm going to be taking my shower as soon as I finish with you guys. Because tonight, y'all better tune in at 8 o'clock because I'm going to show y'all how they do it here in St. Lucia on Friday nights now that COVID and the restrictions have been lifted. It ain't nothing but a party. It is amazing, and I love it. This is our fourth night? Our fourth Friday night? I think it is. Oh my God, it's been a month already. Time is flying, but it's wonderful. So getting back to the cacao, I would be posting a video, and I'm still using CapCut or whatever it is to edit the video, because from beginning to end, when Samson climbed that tree and grabbed these cacaos, and it's funny because I'm using these gourds to plant plants, and it's beautiful. But he grabbed the two out of the tree, and I'm like, I don't know how to use it. I don't even know I ain't know anything. So I had to research everything to find out even what it was and how to use it and all that stuff. So I realized that there are seeds that are in there. And I dumped the seeds out, and this is what the seeds look like. Now, once you cut the seed open, this is one of the seeds, and you can lick all of this around here. It is so sweet. But when you open it, this is what it looks like. When you cut it open, this is what it looks like. It's chocolate. That is the cacao, the actual cacao. So once you spread them out on a cookie sheet and let them dry, sun dry, then, oh man, these I kind of broke up. Then you put them in an oven and let them roast. But what I did is one cacao, I took the seeds and dry roasted them. Dry sunned them. So I dried them in the sun, and then I roasted them. These, I think I actually dried them in the oven, dehydrated them. 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like a dehydration. Anything above 120 or 150 Fahrenheit starts to cook. Anything under that dehydrates, dries them out. So I dehydrated them and then turned the oven up to 250 for about 20 minutes, because you dehydrate for about an hour, I think it was. You could do it longer, but you don't really want it that dry because you're going to roast it. So what I did is for about an hour, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and for about 20 minutes, 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is what you come up with. This is the bean. Now, I can't show you how the covering was taken off, but you'll have to check the video out for that. Once you roast them at 250 for about 20 minutes, you can break the actual crust off. And I don't have one that I could do that with. There's like an outer shell that this seed or this bean comes out of. This is cacao. This is the actual chocolate right here. And I broke them up because now these become nibs. You know, when you break them up like this, they become chocolate nibs. And what I did is blended them until they couldn't be blended anymore. And this is what I came up with: cocoa powder. And with this is how I made my ice cream. And I added the cacao with the agave and a little bit of dates in one part of it. But then I added coconut cream, this coconut cream here. And I didn't need to add that, but I had that around. I had coconuts that I just finished with that I could have used. I'm not going through all of that. But, you know, just to make this completely not from the store, I could have used it, but I didn't. Like a dingbat, I didn't. But let me put this back in the fridge. But this is still pretty much all raw. So I can still break my fast with that as well. Let me get my spoon. So after I blended the cacao with the coconut cream, agave, dates, I also added walnuts and coconut water. The coconut water and the walnuts were to make walnut milk. And I didn't put the walnut milk through a bag to kind of get rid of the pulp and all that stuff. I just left it in there because I eventually added walnuts to the ice cream. But it's good. And yes, I've already had some. It is so creamy. It is not like a frozen yogurt. Look at this, y'all. I'm telling you. Let me see if I can. It is creamy. It's not like ice. You know how some non-dairy ice creams taste like yogurt. No, not yogurt, but sherbet. Or like an ice thing. This thing is so creamy. And that's because of the walnuts. The walnut blended have so much oil to them. The walnuts with the water blended have so much oil, it gives it that creamy consistency. Along with the coconut cream, it gives it that creamy consistency. And this stuff ain't nothing but the truth. And I added chunks of walnuts in there, and it just really, oh man, made it. Chocolate ice cream. And it's cold, it's creamy. I'm telling you, the next time I make this, I'm definitely adding brownies to it. Walnut brownies. Because the walnut brownies, you don't have to bake. And completely alkaline, vegan. I'm so tired of these doggone flies. And I think the flies and the mosquitoes are just, they just ruining my life. But this is the best treat ever. I think I'm going to try to make some more because I've got company coming. Almost every Friday I have company because of the Friday night lives that they do here. It's called Friday Night Street Party here in Gros-Islet, St. Lucia, where they shut down the streets. The vendors come out. They have all kinds of stands, like food stands, liquor stands, jewelry, art, you name it. Actually, this fly got a hard head. He gonna have a soft ass for real. But I'm telling you, you need, if you ever get to St. Lucia, make sure you come to Gros-Islet and check out Friday nights. They went without it for about 3 years. And I know that people are so glad that the restrictions are being lifted so that they can get back out there. And, you know, they're still responsible. You still see many people with masks. They still try to social distance and stuff. And it's really nice. But I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to sell because I wind up helping one of my friends who sells nothing but liquor. And I think he has candies. A couple of the Friday nights, I've actually had candies each time. But my candies are too expensive. They're expensive to make because they're made with agave. And the agave here for, let me see how much. Now this is 23 ounces. And I have it upside down because, yes, I try to use every bit. 23 ounces, $52. That's EC, which equates to about $30 US for one of these. So to make the candies with agave, and the dates are $51, and that you get less with those. And same difference. The sweeteners that are alkaline vegan here on this island are way too expensive. So if I were to sell anything that was sweet, honestly, I wouldn't sell because people will do sugar, and I'm never doing sugar. I know the poison that crap is. I'm never doing, I will go without. So even doing this ice cream is very expensive. That has walnut right there. I'm telling you, this stuff is so smooth and creamy. So it's creamy. And the very idea that it's made with chocolate that I put together myself just really makes me giddy. You know, everything from scratch except for the coconut cream. Everything from scratch except for the agave. You know, and I want it to be that way where everything that I cook, everything that I make is from scratch. I really do want that. I gotta find another sweetener. And y'all know something? Instead of me showing you all the stuff that I use to break my fast, I think I'm gonna make some more ice cream. Because this is gonna be gone. And I'm gonna tell you, it's really good. Now in this one, I'm not gonna use any what do you call it? What is it called? I'm not gonna use any of the dates. I don't have any more dates. So I'm gonna tell you straight up how easy it is to make this stuff. Now I put in about half a cup or fourth of a cup of the cacao, the chocolate nibs, the chocolate powder, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Then I put in the agave, and that's about 4 or 5 tablespoons. Okay. And then I may even add some sea moss. As a matter of fact, I think I did add sea moss. And that's why I love my sea moss so much. Because my sea moss, you can add it to anything and you will not taste it. I love harvesting my own sea moss. It is so good. Okay, I got that, and then the coconut cream. Coconut cream. Shake that up, and I add about 2 tablespoons, actually about 4 tablespoons of the coconut cream. More like a half a cup. And then I add the walnuts. And I don't have coconut water, so I'm gonna have to go without that. So I'm gonna add the walnuts. Just blend it all together. And I usually use about a half a cup of walnuts. Okay. So I'm not making that much. And you see, that's it. So we've got half a cup of cacao, or the coconut, or the chocolate mix. We have about a fourth of a cup of agave. We have about a half a cup of coconut cream, half a cup of walnuts. And I may have to add water because I don't have coconut water. Yeah, let me do that. This cold, that'll work well. And I usually only add about, I don't know, not very much water, whether it be coconut or any other one, because you do want it to break down. I'm not going to put all of this. I'm going to drink the rest. Man, I'm telling you, that ice cream tastes so freaking good. I hope I have enough walnuts left to add it to the actual finished product of the ice cream. Because this is gone. Let's add some of this sea moss. It's funny that I'm adding it all at one time. I never do this, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, I have to cut it up some because I don't know, this stuff was really long. I hadn't harvested from this garden, and it's like it was unknown garden. All the strands were extremely long. I could not believe it. And we're going to go back tomorrow to dive because this stuff was, we were able to just pull it. And I don't like pulling, but we couldn't get down to the source with the equipment that we had. So we're going to go back and cut. Okay. So yeah, I like the sea moss because the sea moss is so, a lot of people use coconut oil to give solidity to a lot of projects, whether it be candies and things like that. And I try to make sure I use sea moss because sea moss is basically the same kind of entity, but it has so much more nutritional value. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm gonna put a little bit of water. And I'm talking about, that might have been a tablespoon. And what we're gonna do is blend it. And let's see what happens as far as consistency. That's what we're looking for. How we're gonna let that blend. And while it's blending, I'm gonna take you on a tour of my garden. Now, yes, all of this is my burdock sea moss mask all over my arms, and it's almost dry. And once it dries, I'm gonna take my shower. But I want to give you all a tour of my garden. I've got a couple of them, but I want that to blend well because that's part of what makes that so creamy, is to really blend it well. Let it just blend forever. Let it get hot, whatever it needs to do to actually blend that well. And we'll give it a taste test and then roll back through it. Now, let me show you. Now, this is my house. I'm on in Gros-Islet in St. Lucia, and this is my house. And on the front of the house, you see there's a little garden space. And the pot there and this little garden space here is where I do some of my planting. And everything that I eat has some sort of a seed, so it gets planted. Now, what's so cute, the gourd from the cacao. I used it and saved it. It cuts from the bottom. And as a matter of fact, I need to get that stuff off the bottom so you can see that I put a rock in the bottom so it doesn't come all the way through. But then with this, if the roots come all the way down, guess what? I can automatically just leave this here and let the roots continue to grow into the ground. But that's one of my tomatoes I'm hoping does well. We've got, what is this stuff called? I keep wanting to say cucumber. It's not cucumber. It's, cantaloupe. Good night. Good night. I got cantaloupe all over the place and can't think of the name. We got some that's budding. Gonna give us flowers soon. Some of the buds fell off. But all of this is cantaloupe. And it's pretty much doing well. There's another plant that's trying to start. But we've got some other surprises in here. This is watermelon. Watermelon. And then these are dates. Can't wait for dates to grow. Because we need some sweeteners that won't cost us freaking $52 for a 12-ounce package. Then another tomato. My face is starting to itch. The stuff is drying up. All of this is cantaloupe. And what I did today was kind of separate some of this stuff. Because you see the watermelon is getting intermingled with the cantaloupe. And all these vines. And then we have, this is more watermelon. I thought I had cucumbers somewhere out here. This tomato plant is going to have to be taken somewhere and set aside. And I probably will put it in another container, like the pod for the cacao. Now this, you know how when you go into a cantaloupe and you open it and there's like this whole cluster of seeds. This particular one, I wound up just taking the whole cluster of seeds and just dumping it into this dirt. I was like, I'm not doing this. I don't want to rinse them. I don't want to do anything. So I just put them down in the dirt and they just started growing. I took half of these to Castries yesterday. And you see the number of seeds that are still there? I could take those seeds, probably dry them and still get more plants. Because many of the plants will not grow because if they're all on top of one another, it's like the survival of the fittest. Those that claim the territory as far as getting space for the roots and stuff are those that will survive. The rest will die. And since I took some out, I see more trying to grow. More trying to grow because all of those I just grabbed out and there were more seeds. I'm telling you, people should never go hungry. I mean, ever. As long as there's soil and seeds, people should never go hungry. And this one, we had loads of tomatoes. And these were tomato seeds that came off of my cutting board. And I wound up, look at that. Oh my God, that's date. That's another date seed. I wound up scooping them right into this pot. And there were so many that just today I took many of them out. It was completely covered. All of this, you couldn't see down into this pot because it was completely covered with these tomatoes. And I took some and put them in these other makeshift pots. Now this one may not do well. I don't know what's happening to it. But this was watermelon that I wanted to segregate from all of that. I can never think of the name of the... I can't think of the name of it. What is this? All of that's just over there. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it. I keep wanting to say calendula. I don't know. I just said it. I'm telling you, something is happening with me. Not cucumber. I can't think of the name of it. But I want to separate some of them. So I brought the watermelon over here. And I can't think. I'm telling you, it's like a brain fart. Where I can't. Get out of here. I'm telling you, that cat, I swear, that particular cat, I believe, is the one that's doing all the pooping in my backyard. I'm telling you, I'm going to get her. So let's check on. See, when you have that sea moss in there, let me wash my hands real quick. That sea moss kind of takes over, and as it gets hot, it starts to gel. It really does. So that's probably what's happening here. There you go. Oh man, it smells wonderful. Let me see what it tastes like. Oh, definitely need some more of this good stuff. And that's why I use so much, because everything has to be sweet enough. Okay, what we're gonna do is try to get this stuff back into oh yeah. I'm telling you, that chocolate is really very good. That is just amazing. Look at that. That is creamy. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let this do what it does, and we're gonna come back. I'm talking about it is so creamy and chocolatey. Oh my God. So I might have to fight somebody who might want to have some of this, because that's an expensive ice cream. So yeah, everybody's getting ready for Friday night. Let me show you what the street looks like right quick. They shut the streets down. Look at this idiot flying down here. Okay, see all the stands and things? All the stands and things are being set up so people can... Okay, welcome to live chat. Remembering to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Okay, hey, how are you? I got all this stuff on my face. How are you? I can't wait to hear you again do your karaoke. Okay. Okay. So let's see how it's doing. Look at how creamy it looks. Give it a little helping hand. might say that that is enough. Oh my God, that looks incredible. So guys, instead of doing the actual smoothie bowl that I normally do, to break my fast, I did the ice cream. And I'm gonna put the ice cream in a container. And while it's nice and warm, because it's warm right now, I'm gonna put it in the freezer. Oh my God. You talk about creamy? Oh my God. That is creamy. That's what ice cream should taste like. No sugar and no dairy. That's what ice cream should taste like. So let's do this. We're gonna pour some in this container. So let's freeze this right quick. I wanted to make cheese because my sea moss is like really at the right consistency right now, where it's nice and gummy and chewy in that container that I'm soaking it in. Ah, wait. That's one thing I hate, that water being in there. Okay, let's get some of that water out. The water all around there. Oh my God, that smells so good. It's just amazing to me, making this ice cream from scratch. I mean, the chocolate part of it from scratch. What is this? Wow. Okay, I'll put the rest in another container. But look at this, guys. Look how creamy this looks. Look how creamy. Look at that. And once that freezes, that's gonna be amazing. Okay, let's get it in there. Okay, let me get it in the freezer, and then we can kind of call it a day. Let's put that on top. Put it in the freezer. And we've got ice cream, babes. Let's do another little one. Ah, I forgot the walnuts. Let's put some walnuts in it. Not forget the walnuts, because there's something about the walnuts that really makes the dish. I don't want to just pour them because I'm at the end of the walnuts. I don't want all the flakiness from the shells and all that stuff to be down in there. I can still feel that I'm putting it in there. Can't believe I'm out of walnuts already. I can't even make walnut meat because I'm out of walnuts. That's enough. I don't want all those flakes and things. I cannot believe it. I go through walnuts too fast. That's all I can say. I really do. I go through walnuts too fast. Let's see, for my cheese, let me see. We can take this, just kind of put it down in there. It's already forming. Now, my other brown ice cream mix, I made brownies. But for some reason, I don't have any dates. But I need dates and walnuts to make those brownies, and they are freaking fantastic. Nobody can tell me as of yet that those things do not taste like straight up brownies that are made with dairy. These brownies are no bake, no sugar, no dairy. I mean, completely alkaline vegan. They are incredible. I don't know why I'm going through this, because this spatula is going right back into that carafe for the blender. Oh, I know why. So I could do this. Y'all just don't understand that it's so good. And I can't wait to get to some of that. I forget what it's called. It's like a powdered sugar that someone came out with for either dates or it might be agave. I think it is powdered agave sugar. I'm like, man, that's what's up. And I'm sure all they do is put the agave on some sort of pan and simply dry it. 120 degrees or less, that's Fahrenheit, in an oven for about 2 hours, 3 hours. And it dries to that consistency of a powdered type sugar. Or even if it doesn't, if it's like a crystallized sugar, you can put it in a coffee grinder and grind it like it's a powdered sugar. I was like, that is just, when science meets cooking, I love it. So guys, I'm telling you, I love being here. I'm so glad you all joined me, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, instead of doing the smoothie bowl, we did the ice cream. And I'm gonna do another video on the ice cream, because what I didn't give every step-by-step on the video like I did with the live. And I'm going to find a way to add that to the video so you can refer back to it. Even though the lives are also done, posted to my page, so you can refer back to that as well. But I'm going to go, and I will see you all at 8 o'clock here on YouTube, 6 o'clock on Instagram. It's My Alkaline Vegan Journey. And we're going to be checking out Grossy Lay live street party. Y'all see them setting up now. So I will see you all then. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm Robin, and this is My Alkaline Vegan Journey. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so that you see every time I post a new video.